Happy New Year, everyone. It's new club day. Usually when I rock up to this golf course, Crondon Park, and I stand on this first tee, there's only one club that's recently been coming out of my golf bag, and that is the Ping G425. You familiar with it? I know you are. This one, the G425, but not today, because today is Ping G430 time. And these, if they are anything like their little brother, have a serious chance at going in my golf bag this year. Massive chance at going in my golf bag, because we'll get into looks in a minute, and they've also done something with the sound, which we will get into. But if these, like I said, are half as good, that's a lie actually, they've got to be better. But if they are very good, they are going to be going in my golf bag this year. Let's get off the first tee, see how they perform, go through the tech, the sound, and give them a GSG. What is a GSG, you ask? It's a golf supply rating. Golf supply grading. How are these going to stack up? Let's find out. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit both. I've got the SFT and the Max with me today, and we're going to go and hit both of them, starting with the SFT. So first hole here at Crondon, par 4, difficult one. It's my bogey hole, to be honest. Straight up, dog legs round to the left. Let's give these a go. They look incredible. They look incredible. Slight changes that I'm going to have to discuss with you lot so you are aware. Oh, you just can't beat it. Little high draw, right hand side of the fairway. Oh, I love these. Let's go on to the old Max, walk down there and talk through what has changed. What has changed on these G430s? Well, I will tell you. I'm sure this one's going to be just as good. Even better. Slap bang middle of the fairway. G430 time. Let's get into it. Right, well, now I've stopped dribbling over the new G430s, let's actually tell you what's new with these golf clubs. Because Ping, although they probably didn't need to with the G425, they have changed some things, and hopefully for the better. Let's talk about what they are. So, G430s, what is new with these, I hear you ask? So, what Ping have done is they have changed the crown of this golf club. They have now got something that they are calling carbon fly wrap, and basically I'll put some overlays on the screen to better explain what this is doing, but it's a composite piece that's put on top of the golf club to save weight, to move the CG a little bit lower and increase MOI, and you're getting that on both the LST, the SFT and the Max. You're also getting Ping's new face wrap technology, and what that is the face actually wraps into the head, and what's that supposed to do is create a faster ball speed and give you a higher launch. I've definitely seen a slightly higher launch off of the few shots that I've hit so far. This club also features a flexible steel face, apparently supposed to help with ball speed. It also features tungsten sole weights, which is going to be helping with forgiveness on these clubs. And we all know that Ping is famous for its forgiveness. And the last thing to touch on with regards to the face is it's a variable roll face. You read into that what you want. So let's jump into the looks of these, and then I want to show you a slight difference in shape between the G425 and the G430. So, jumping into the looks, compared to the old G425, we've now got a splash of colour in there. So the G430 features a lime yellow across the back with some white framing. On the top of the clubs, we're still getting like a weaved carbon effect on all three, the LST, the SFT and the Max. And we've also got across the side where it says Carbon Fly, their new face technology wraps around the crown of the golf club. It is a really good looking golf club. But when we compare it to the G425, like you can see there is a change. Now, I bought this club because I loved the face shape. And what I mean by that is it's squatty, it's small, it's shallow from top to bottom, wide from toe to heel. But as you can see with the G430 on top, they've slightly changed it. It's no longer as squatty, as square on the front. It's a little bit more rounded, it's a little bit more refined, and the face arguably looks slightly smaller. See what I mean? But the big thing that I want to turn to, and I'm going to put you onto the loud mic, is the sound, because the G425 did have a reputation for sounding extremely tingy. Now, I wasn't a hater or a naysayer of that. I actually quite enjoyed the loud, I'm here, I've hit my freeward sound, but they've re-improved the acoustics on this G430. So let's drop some balls down. I'm going to put it onto the big mic so you can hear it properly. Tell me if you can hear the difference between these two clubs. So I'm using the max head on both. I'm going to start off, well, I'm going to switch in between both clubs. For the G425, my current gamer, one thing you certainly have not lost in the Ping G430, which was a huge, huge sale in the G425, is the forgiveness. My favourite hole, my favourite sort of driving hole, the third hole at Crondon, because you have to hit it straight. Let's turn the mic on, listen to the sound of both. G425 first. Pulled that one a little bit left. Now, G430, so the 425 you should be able to hear, is loud. It's very loud. The G430, is much duller. But look at that. Straight down the middle of the fairway. Moving back to the max, the G425. Again, we're going to hear a bit more of a scream coming out of this club. Letting you know, letting everyone else on the golf course know that you're here. Let's turn the mic on. Much louder. Much, much louder. They've certainly dimmed down the noise of the G430. Address behind the ball, looks behind the ball. Like I said, it's not as much of a squatty face as you get in the G425. It's a little bit less square, which I think might actually appeal to a lot of people. It's a bit more of a traditional freeward shape. Listen to the sound again, G430. I just don't miss with it though. But you can certainly hear the acoustic difference between the two of them. Right, last two, G425. I love it. I absolutely love it. And then one more with the G430. I'm noticing a slightly higher ball flight coming out of the G430 than what I am with my G425. Now that could be obviously because I've got a stiffer shaft in the G425. It is fit for me. But the sound is noticeably different. It's a bit more dulled, it's a bit more, not dull is the wrong word. It's certainly more familiar is the word I would use. It's a more familiar freeward sound rather than the G425, which has always been extremely loud. So as we walk down to what can only be described as 6 purlers, maybe 2 a little bit left, but 6 purlers. Let's just give a little bit of a context of the G430 in comparison to its younger brother G425. So main differences you're going to notice are the colour scheme. You've got a splash of that lime yellow in there. There's also on the top sort of like a carbon weave effect that you didn't get on the G425, which you are going to get onto the G430. Ping are claiming that there's around about a 4-yard gain in distance in the max and up to 7 yards to be gained in the SFT and the LST. Now, without me standing here and hitting 700 golf balls to actually see if that's true, we're just going to have to believe Ping on that one, unfortunately, because it is almost impossible to test. Now, you are getting the exact same forgiveness from the G430 as you are from the G425. That is hands down. It is still uber forgiving, the max version that is. Haven't really gone into any testing with the LST because it's not a club that I would put in my bag. I prefer the max, I prefer a higher ball flight, and again, noticing on higher ball flight, the G430 certainly does fly a little bit higher than the G425, but as I said, that really could be because I've got a softer shaft in the G430 than I have the G425. Looks is fantastic. The sound, see the sound for me, I liked the sound of the G425 and it is a little bit quieter, it's a little bit less intrusive. So if you're someone who was put off by the sound of the G425, I know a lot of our lads aren't a massive fan of the sound of it, then the G430 is going to be an acoustic improvement for you. Sorry, can't get my words out. But as I walk up the third, it's doing exactly what I want it to do. It's finding fairways, and it's not short. It's not the longest club that we'll test, but it's not short. Sound for me is the big takeaway. I don't feel like you're getting a huge amount of more distance out of this golf club. Ball's right below my feet here. Check that out though. That one's putting. You're not getting a massive jump in distance, not that I've found anyway. So to finish off this video, I just want to hit some more shots. I'm about 250 yards left into the flag on stroke index 1. One thing to mention is in the G430, oh, it's so nice. In the G430, it is at 15 degrees of loft for the freewood. So in the G425, it was a bit weird. It was at 14.5, but they've moved it back to the more traditional 15 degrees worth of loft. The sound is slightly duller than the G425. The shape is a little bit more circular, a little bit less squatty than the G425. Ooh. Let me just hit a couple more. You're getting a carbon weave design on the top, which is definitely an improvement on the blank matte finish on the G425. G430 from the top definitely looks much nicer. Ball's below my feet here as well. I'm doing pretty well. Topped it. Oh, had to be one, didn't they? Jinxed it. Skull bladed it into the lake. Last one. Oh, save the best to last, Ash. High little fade, falling down right hand side of the green. And we'd be putting for birdie. We'd be putting for birdie. So yeah, I must say, I have enjoyed the new G430. I've enjoyed the new looks, I've enjoyed the new sound, I've enjoyed pretty much everything there is to enjoy about this golf club. Is it any better than the G425? That's what you're probably going to ask. My honest answer is no. For every single review now, the looks are better. Looks are slightly better, in people's opinion. For every single review now, we're going to give a club a GSG. And what the GSG is the Golf Supply grading. And it is based on performance, aesthetics, feel, and tech. What has the G430 been graded out of 10? Well, because the G425 is arguably the best freewood ever made, it was always going to jump up them ranks a little bit higher. Out of 10, I'm going to give it a solid 8.8. I don't think there's much of a difference to the G425 apart from sound and a slight redesign in looks and shape, but it performs just as well, and that's a compliment to Ping. You're not going to be any worse off buying the G430 than you are the G425. The G430 might appeal to people's eye a little bit more. Like I said, it's not as square, it's not as squatty, but it is a very good golf club. It's a very good looking golf club. It's a good looking set. It's a good sounding golf club. One that you should be testing for 2023. If you've enjoyed this review, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. You'll be notified every time we upload a new golf video. We've got reviews coming out all this month. Do not miss it. Love you all, and we'll see you in the next one. Come on, G430s. Come on.